Everyone, it's the Sagan from Side to Say, and welcome to another video. So now, as you'll notice here in a minute, if you haven't already read the title, I am starting a new series today. Now, you might be wondering, what's going on with Super RPG. Don't worry, I still am working on that. I still want to do that. The problem is, I decided two things: is that one, I need a series that I can sit down, do an entry for, where I don't need to drag that green screen over here, set it all up, get these lights up. It's a lot of work for me. Sometimes I just don't have it in me in the morning. This way I can still put out content. The other reason is that in the month leading up to Shocktober, I decided that there's a game I really want to do, which would be Riven. For those that aren't familiar, that is the sequel to the classic game Myst. But I figured if I'm going to do Riven, for you guys to really understand and appreciate Riven, I have to do Myst. So that's what we're starting today. I will be doing realMyst, the Masterpiece Edition. There have been about 4 or 5 different versions of Myst over the years. It's been remastered. The one I have handy via Steam is the Masterpiece realMyst Edition, which is the game fully redone in 3D. I figure it's a good bridge to the, retro game that I want to play and the more modern game that some of you may want to see. The reason I'm starting this today, and I just noticed my hair is sticking out. That looks lovely. Who cares? Anyway, the reason I'm doing this today is that I was supposed to get together with Tesla tonight to do one of our normal joint videos, but he has a job interview in the morning, so we won't be able to do that. So, best of luck, buddy. I'm going to do this today instead. So, with that said, go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start a new game here so that we'll go through the title screen. Everything from the cyan logo that starts the game has been redone. And we'll talk about that as we get into it. I will apologize in advance if this is loud. It's pretty loud in my headset, but I tested recording before I started, and the volume was pretty right where it should be. So here we go. So we start out with the cyan logo, which this is a massive improvement over the old one. Now, if you've never seen this game before, I welcome you to it. This is really the one that started it all for me as far as my love for point-and-click adventure games. My love for Shivers during Shocktober comes directly from this game. This is the one that really started all the point-and-click adventure games. Yes, there were others, but this is the one that codified it. Now, I want you all to pay attention during this intro.
I realized the moment I fell into the fissure that the book would not be destroyed as I had planned. It continued falling into that starry expanse of which I had only a fleeting glimpse. I've tried to speculate where it might have landed, but I must admit that such conjecture is futile. Still, questions about whose hands might one day hold my Myst book are unsettling to me. I know my apprehensions might never be allayed, and so I close, realizing that perhaps the ending has not yet been written.
Now, I may cut that in later or beforehand or whatever, but that is a perfect 3D remake of the original intro of the game, and that's just so cool. But yeah, like I said, this is the one that started it all, that got me into point-and-click adventure games. Shivers is probably my absolute favorite just for the horror theme, but I will never lose my love for Myst. So let's do this. This is the island of Myst. So, for those not familiar with the series, one of the concepts of the series is this idea of linking books, in that somebody has described a world within this book, and you can basically go to it by touching one of these panels. Now, in realMyst, which is what this version is, you have the option of doing classic Myst, which is point and click navigation, or you can actually completely free roam and WASD throughout the whole island. However, being the retro obsessed old fogey that I am, we'll be doing classic Myst. Okay, so welcome to the island Myst. This is where we start the game on a dock here. I'll just do a quick pan around. I must say, the 3D recreation of this is just spectacular. If I had the original version of Myst handy, which my mother's got it because it's her game, I would like almost want to do a side-by-side comparison here. I might throw in a screenshot here or there, the old one, just to give you guys an idea of the difference. But I'm gonna stop gushing and actually start playing the game. So first things first on this dock, first thing to do usually would be clicking on this door, which there's an underground chamber here. Now, as with a lot of games, one plays from their youth, sometimes you remember the beginning really well, and you remember the end really well. I actually only beat Myst probably about, 10 years ago. Actually, probably not even that long ago. I actually ended up beating the DS version, which is a straight remake of the original version, point and click style and all, on the DS. Just because this game was insanely hard when it came out. I don't think my mother ever beat it. But if you know what you're doing, you can get through pretty quickly. And that's what I'm going to try and do for this, so I can get to Riven in the lead up to Shocktober during September. I'm not planning on like pounding this out in a week, but we'll get through it in a couple episodes probably. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. Alright, so let me back up. So we have this nice little pool of water here, and I really hope this music isn't too loud. If we hit this button here, it doesn't seem to do anything, but we got this interesting panel over on the wall. Settings, dimensional imager. We have a few different options here. We got a topographical extrusion test. Let's press this button. Okay, so we can put in a number here. Let's go ahead and put in 40. Wow, that was obnoxiously loud. I will try and turn that down when I edit the video. So we got a 3D topographical representation of something. So this is some sort of hologram projector. Let's see what else we got. Marker switch diagram. And water turbulent pool. Water turbulent pool is what we were on when we got here. And this is a marker switch diagram. Neat. Well, there isn't much else we could do in this particular room. So let's go ahead and explore the island. And here's one of these marker switches now. I guess we'll go ahead and turn that on. God, the motion blur is almost kind of weirding me out because, the original Myst was literally made in a HyperCard. You're just, boom, flipping to the next view. Okay, we got a piece of paper here. Catherine, I left a message of the utmost importance in our forechamber beside the dock. Enter the number of marker switches on the island into the imager to retrieve the message. Yours, Atris. Okay, so the inhabitants of this island quit telling me to open the menu. That is one minor annoyance of realMyst is it's like, oh, don't know what you're doing, open the menu. I don't care. Alright, let's take a quick walk around the island and see how many marker switches there are. So we have one down there. There, up in the menu. Happy? Okay, we got one up here. So, yeah, again, if you're not familiar with this type of genre, very similar to Shivers in that we're navigating around a world and trying to solve puzzles. Shivers has the added benefit of you have ghosts trying to kill you. In this case, there's no real threat to us per se, but we're basically stuck on this island until we figure out what we're doing. Okay, so we have a third one here. Let's see if we got over here. Okay, we got a fifth one down there. Got a sixth one. We got a sunken ship in a pool there. Got a sixth switch there. Got a seventh one down here. And we got an eighth one over there. And we can't get across to it. Okay, these dials control the clock. Doesn't do anything. We'll come back to this. Am I misremembering the number of switches? I thought there was only 8, perhaps. Let's recount, shall we? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 'It's very fixed points it wants to navigate me to. And then there's an 8th one up there. So, yeah, there are 8, because we've been over the whole island, but apparently I miscounted the first time around. I'm sure I'll figure out where I did that when I'm editing the video. Alright, let's go plug in 8 and see what we get. Because while I remember what happens, sort of, I don't remember what it's going to tell us. Like I said, I remember the beginning very well, I remember the end very well, but I don't necessarily remember the solutions to everything. So this will still be fun. Okay, so got 8. Anybody sensitive to noise, please plug your ears right now. Ow.
Catherine, my love, I have to leave quickly. Something terrible has happened. It's hard for me to believe. Most of my books have been destroyed. Catherine is one of our sons. I suspect Agon, but I shouldn't leap to conclusions. I'll find him and Cirrus as well. Oh, I should have known better than to have left my library unchecked for so long. Well, I've removed the remaining undamaged books from the library and placed them in their places of protection. You shouldn't have to use the books until I return, but if you've forgotten the access keys, remember the tower rotation. Oh, and don't worry, Catherine. Everything will be fine. I'll see you shortly. Oh, and erase this message after you've viewed it, just to be safe.
So that is Atris, the owner of the island, shall we say. Trivia, played by Sagan, co-founder and director of Myst, Rand Miller. And I have to applaud Rand Miller not only for creating this game, but for continuing to play Atris, because there's a guy that never wanted to act, thinks his own acting is terrible for that matter, but he knows that fans of Myst wouldn't feel it was the same, because the Atris character does show up in other games, and he knows the fans would basically revolt if they recast the role, so he continues to do it, and my hat's off to him for sticking with it. Okay, so let's see. Let's have a look at in here. Really, Cyan? Okay, so the original game did not use the AOL door opening noise for this door. I don't know why they chose that for this remake. That and the flat video we just saw in the projector is probably one of my only complaints about this. However, the flat video was necessary because that is the original QuickTime video from the original copy of Myst. You kind of needed that same performance because they're not really going to reshoot that years later. Okay, so we got this weird share in here. And we have a sort of date readout. We also have a light switch. So yes, the secret of this thing is it's like an observatory. And you can see we have a view of the night sky. And this is actually a really neat thing. You can plug in any date and time into this all the way from the year 1 up to the year 9999. And it's supposed to show you what the night sky might look like. So let's do August 22nd. And you know what? I'll set the time to 11:30 p.m. the time I start work tonight. And I want somebody to tell me if this appears in the night sky anywhere at all. Now, Myst is in its own little world, so this is, for all I know, this is the Myst night sky. It has nothing to do with Earth's night sky, but it would be an interesting thought. So yeah, somebody in the comments, let me know, is this a thing? Also, pro tip, close all your messengers before you start recording. Alright, I'm going to stop messing around here and get into the game proper. I just don't want you guys to feel like I'm rushing through it because I know what I'm doing. I do want to actually give you guys a view of what the island's like. So, I know that that room is actually for a puzzle later, so we will come back to it. Let's start with what is probably one of my favorite rooms in the entire game, which is the library. If you're wondering why it's one of my favorite rooms, we'll get into that a little later. But it is a octagonal room that's pretty cut and dry. It's bookshelf, 2 paintings, an alcove with a book, an alcove with another book, a map, the doorway out, and a fireplace. So, now we noticed that in his message there, Atris said that most of his books have been destroyed, and, well, from the look of it, that is certainly the case. Another thing I want to applaud the HD remake on is that I would have to go back and compare a shot from the original Myst. Sorry, I think I just had a fly go up my nose. But I don't remember if you were able to even read the titles of some of these books, like the Channelwood Age of Myst, or the Stone Ship Age, or the Salentic Age of Myst. And then, well, this doesn't have a title on it, nor does this one. But yeah, most of these books have indeed been destroyed by a fire. But there are ones like this that are still in quite readable condition. So these are journals left by Atris. And in the interest of time, I'm not going to read through the entire journal. What I will do is flip through page by page, and if you're interested in reading, please just pause the video as you do so. Uh, I'll, like I said, after I'm done talking here, I'll just go through these one page at a time. That way, you guys get an idea of the backstory. I'll read these in my own time so I know what to do because there are clues in these books, and then we'll decide where to go from there. So this would be the boring read notes, read and take notes portion of the game if you're playing this by yourself. However, to me, this is fascinating backstory, and I've always enjoyed reading them. It's also interesting to me that at this point the ink changes. Okay, so this book is done. Also interesting that a lot of the text is missing from this one. Okay, that should be all the reading for now. Let's explore the rest of the library. We have this book over here. So it looks to be one of the linking books, but it's sort of broken. There's this page here. Oh, it's even telling me to put it in the book. I think I should turn these off, these guide markers. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. I'm Sagan.
Bring me a red page.
About the word please?
I can't see it. Need a red page, you must.
Didn't I?
I can bring.
Didn't I already bring you the red pages?
I am serious. Give it up. There is one thing I must rescue.
Okay, well that wasn't very clear. Let's see if the other book helps. whole lot of nothing. Yep. Put this page in here and see what happens.
You serious?
No, Sagan. Sagan.
Who are you? See you. You know.
No, Akinar's in the other book.
Ring. Blue pages. Never. Pages. I must have the blue page. Bring them to me.
Okay. So he wants the blue pages. Guy in the other book wants the red pages. And I got the name wrong. So Akinor's in the blue book. Cirrus is in the red book. I think, yeah. I'll correct myself if I'm misremembering that. Okay, so that is the library. And we are just about a half hour. So I'll pretty much be cutting off here. But before I go, I'm going to show you why the library is my favorite room. That's because of these paintings on the wall. So you notice this one shows an open doorway leading down a hallway. This one shows the open door leading out of the library. Since paintings seem to be interactive in this game, let's find out what happens if we touch this. That is still one of my favorite things in this game. That just I always think trapdoors and fake bookcases and stuff are so cool. And for a bookcase to basically collapse down and turn into a staircase and lead into a hallway or tunnel or whatever, it's just so cool. And to this day, if I have the money to build a house and put a bookcase in it that I can do that with, I will do it someday. Okay, so the other thing is it closes up the library. We can't leave while this door is open. But if you touch the other portrait, closes up, and the door is open. And one of the cool things about this is in realMyst, you can move around while it's transitioning. So before I could never see like what happens to the door, and you can see it just like brick wall comes down, boom, closed. But in the original game, you were in a fixed like cutscene pretty much. So okay, well, I think we're gonna have to leave it here because I'm trying to keep these segments a little shorter. I might do one tomorrow if I can get the save game synchronized. If not, we'll put one out when I can. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm excited to go through the rest of the game. I know not a lot of action in this one, but had to basically get through the boring reading part and know where we need to go. So in the next episode, I'll explore what's back here. So hope y'all enjoyed. Until next time, you stay classy, Internet. Elastic tubes and bots and babies, bits and pieces, and the magic from the